welcome to another edition of the Interstellar Modeler. What I'd like to do in this video is feature my Galactica model kit from Moebius Models. This model kit is still available today. The model itself is a pretty nice one. It's nicely detailed. I think it's pretty accurate. I can't tell you that I know every single detail about this ship, but from what I can tell, it's pretty accurate. And the kit itself isn't very big. I wish it was just a little bit larger than this, but nonetheless, when you open the box, it doesn't take long to realize that it's not very hard to put this model kit together. There's really not a lot involved to constructing the kit. What is a challenge for you is on how to detail the kit. So the actual ship, I know, was a computer-generated image. They didn't really build a model of this ship. They added a lot of surface detail to this vessel, and so your challenge is how you're going to get it that detailed. So what I decided to do was to purchase the Acreation decal set from culttvmodel.com, and secondly, I also purchased the metal photo-etched detailing set also from culttvmodel.com. So those were the two things I decided to do. When I saw that there was a decal sheet available, I was just really thrilled, and when I got it in, I quickly realized that there are a lot of decals to that decal sheet. I counted about 1,100, maybe over, yeah, a little over 1,100 decals that have to separately be put onto the surface of this model. That sounds pretty intimidating, and that's what it was for me too. So after I received the decal sheet and the photo etch set, the model sat for about a couple years in my garage. But not long ago I decided that I would just plow through this project and just get it done. I knew that once all the decals were applied, it really was going to give the ship a look that I think would be very, very difficult, almost impossible to really duplicate by painting. You can see as I pass along here the amount of detail that is printed onto the decals that go in between these rib sections. So again, I would think, I'm sure it's not impossible, but I would think it'd be pretty hard to duplicate all of that by just painting, especially because there's so many sections here. So let me talk quickly about the decal set. So as I said, the decal comes with over 1,100 separate decals that you do have to cut and place into each of these separate rib sections. It also comes with decals to apply along the armored sections that you see here, and certainly the ship markings as well. So with the decal sheet, I use these two solutions that I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with already, this Microset and Microsol solutions. Just basically follow the instructions here, applying the Microsol to the surface of the model, and also applying them to the decals as you put the decals onto the ship. These solutions basically help soften the decals up, so especially where there are surface details like this, the decal will set properly and not look funny. So it allows it to assume the contour of the surface of the model, so that they can rest nicely onto the model. So that's really all there is to say about the decal sheet. There's it's basically just cutting out each of the decals pieces from the set and applying them to the model. So what I decided to do when I finally made up my mind to do this project was to apply 10 decals a day. And so I knew it was going to take a long time, but you know, you eventually do reach the end. Okay, so the second thing I did, of course, was to use the Photoetch detailing set, and that comes with a number of different pieces. One are these windows that you see here on this side of the ship. In this series, this landing bay was converted into a museum, so they represent windows. And then the other thing that the Photoetch set comes with is further detailing that you can add to the turrets. And then it also comes with the interior of the landing bay. for each of them if you wanted to. Unfortunately, you don't really see that. I did install the detailing in these landing bays here, at least on this side anyway, but unless the model is lit, you're really not going to see any of it. And essentially, as you see in this picture here, the Photoetch set comes with this section for the bay, and you basically bend down these different pieces along the stretch of this section here, and those of course represent the pylons along the inner walls of the bay. And then it's placed into the landing bay and sits there. Okay, and then once the decals were in place, the next thing I did was to add a wash, a dark wash that would highlight and bring out all of these raised areas that you see here. Now there are a lot of ways you can do washes. One way that you can accomplish this without having to mix a whole lot of stuff is to simply buy a prepared wash like this one. I got this at my local hobby store, and really it was as simple as brushing it into each of these sections and letting them dry, and applying several coats of that wash until you get to the desired effect. Okay, and here's a look at the underside of the ship, and you can see how the wash really brings out the detailing that you see all along the length of the hull. Okay, and I'd like to just quickly point out one thing about the aft section of the ship, and I'm going to go ahead and use a little light here to shine on this section right here. This particular end piece here comes clear, and certainly the reason they do that is to help you with lighting the kit. I didn't like this kit, but I still needed to figure out a way to paint the detailing here and leaving the exhaust ports clear. So the way I accomplished that was to use liquid mask. And again, this is such a great product for these types of scenarios. What I did here was apply liquid mask along the clear sections, or at least the areas I wanted to remain clear. And again, you have to apply at least 3 coats to get a nice thick film that you'll be able to peel off after you paint the piece. So again, once you apply the coats, you allow them to dry, and then you paint your piece. You take an X-Acto knife and you just peel them right off, and as you can see, it leaves all the areas that you want to remain clear, free of any paint. So again, just a great way really to approach these situations, and it's not very expensive. It's water soluble, so you can clean off your brushes pretty easily, and so very, very easy to work with. Alright, so there you go, and hopefully that gave you some useful advice with building this kit. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and thanks for watching. I will see you next time.